Hey ladies, it's Charlie O and Lola, and we're the Shady Ladies. We're a couple of love coaches that love to sit on the patio, drink champagne, and talk about sex and love and relationships with no shame. We're here to help you to keep it exciting. Welcome to today's show. Today we're talking about cheating and what is cheating to you. I think it's broken trust, but besides that, I think we all have different approaches and different thoughts and different deal breakers for, what is cheating to them. But we want to welcome you to our show today, and we're going to start off with a little quote. Charlie, have a quote?
Charlie O.
Charlie O.
Oh, Charlie's here. Change your ride, not your bride.
There we go.
Oh.
That was some wonderful advice from a good friend of yours, right?
Yes,
He was
correct. I
in
wrote
his
it down
60s.
and then I heard it. I loved it.
Yeah,
So true.
some wise advice.
And how do we do that, ladies?
Change your ride. Maybe buy a
Get
motorcycle.
a new car,
Yeah, buy a new car.
like a convertible
Right?
or a cute car.
A little midlife crisis.
I was thinking ride like sexual movement or something.
Oh.
You're
I
right.
was thinking like
Yes,
the
go
ride,
Asia.
Oh, Asia. Of course you would.
not a car.
Go, Asia.
I was thinking a convertible with a two-seater so I only could have one person in it with me at all times. What do you think, Lola,
A one-seater?
about the ride? Change your ride. What did you consider a ride?
A car. A motorcycle.
Oh.
Asia.
A boat. A pontoon boat.
A pontoon boat.
That sounds
That's
fun.
what I'm getting.
Party barge.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking like, spice up your sex life. And how do you do that? Do you go to a weekend workshop? Do you read a book? Do you take a sexology course or loveology course? What's worked for you ladies? Because you both are in long-term relationships.
I'm getting a car. Convertible.
And a pontoon boat.
And a pontoon boat.
And a pontoon boat. Oh, it's so funny. No, but cheating is a huge, huge thing. I mean, and I think it's a hard topic for me because, again, I've been cheated on my ex-relationship, my ex-marriage. So I have it's a lot for me sometimes to talk about, but it's sad because everybody has a different opinion what it is, don't you think?
We have different boundaries, right?
Yeah.
All wrapped around what is cheating. Yeah, I think you have to ask yourself first what is cheating, and then your partner or your potential lover or even a long-term relationship. Maybe you haven't had this talk yet, and so I think that's an important topic.
Well, what's cheating? What's cheating to each of us three? That might be a great starting place. And then
What is it to you, Asia?
I'm pretty traditional, and so if someone's flirting or engaging in something that creates sexual arousal or emotional arousal or deep flirting, then that to me is a version of cheating.
Right. Also, and then define what's deep flirting.
Like I think engaged with eye contact and touching to try to stimulate some kind of physical arousal or connection.
Yes, with the intent to stimulate.
Yeah. If it's just
so
flirting
too.
like, hey, fun friend, and you're cute like Chad. I love to flirt with Chad, but that's, just very harmless. And it's like I get a
Remember,
hug.
his
And
kicker is broken.
Yeah.
That's why we're not dating him, Asia. Right? Friend.
he's hot, though.
Chad is a friend. Yeah, but mine is more emotional. I just feel like the emotional cheating sometimes is even worse. I mean, physical is the limit, but even emotional, because it can be very intense. Like people can start going, coworkers can go out to lunch, or meet for coffee or take a walk on their breaks and stuff. And then I feel like a lot of times, granted, people can be friends, but it can intensify very quickly, and they're with them more than they're with their own spouses.
When their own family,
that
yeah,
is a
absolutely.
huge. That's to me is a huge thing. So
Yeah, that can be cheating for most people.
And then some people right, they want to have an open relationship. I can't relate to this personally, but they want to have, the swinger lifestyle, or, let's trade for tonight, or let's all climb in the same bed together, and they're okay with that.
Yeah, there are.
But you wonder is there longevity in that? That's what I wonder.
Yeah, I think it just depends on what your intent is.
right.
You may try it out for one time and be like, "Yep, I tried it. That's not for me," or you're just like, "Yeah, this is going to be my MO, probably for the rest of my life."
Yeah. I no judging on swinging because but it's not me. But I just know I'm not a jealous person. But that I couldn't do that. I don't want to share somebody with somebody. I mean,
Yeah,
no.
a little more traditional.
So.
Yeah, I don't know
But I
if
think
I'm a
those
swinger
people-
either.
Those people have that conversation normally before they start doing it, so that I don't consider cheating because they've kind of signed up for that.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
cheating would be if they brought you there and they had no discussion, and all of a sudden you're expected to have some, like be with this other person, and you're like, what the shit's going on, right?
Right.
That's a shit show.
Or maybe your your long-term partner is swinging on the side and not telling you about
Yeah.
it. To me, that probably crosses that
be-
line of
That would be cheating. in
of
my-
cheating.
Oh,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. What about what do you think about cyber sex or sexting? Is that cheating to you?
Well, if it's with your person, no.
No, with someone else.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That would, yeah. Because if I was doing that, I would do it with the intent of, well, first of all, it would be disrespectful to my existing relationship if I'm in a relationship, and I would be doing it with the intent of trying to connect and have sex with that person. I would personally.
I agree. I think sometimes with cheating, I think people, it's like kind of that, I think people start doing it a lot of times because it's exciting. It's
Yes.
kind of like, your either your relationship or your marriage or whatever that looks like is kind of in the, it's like boring, or, where women or whoever it is isn't wearing those clothes she used to wear, or the guy's not doing whatever. And then there's this person that shows up and they are like, oh, like, whoa. And that kind of thing, that's the kind of what happens as relationships kind of or like in the gutter
Fizzle.
or whatever.
They fizzle, and so maybe someone's looking for that feel good drug dopamine
Yes.
that you get from maybe chasing someone else. That's a real thing.
Oh, yeah.
Or feeling wanted, like I think we all have a need as human beings to feel important, wanted, desired, and it's up. If I'm going to be a good partner, then I want to make sure I'm doing a good job at making my person feel wanted, needed, adored, cherished. And how do we do that? That's what we get. I have gotten lazy in life, and we stop doing it. Stop wearing the lingerie. Stop, finding new sexual techniques, or like the spider monkey story with Chad.
I like that.
Was fantastic. I don't know if I can make my body move like that, but I would love to be a spider monkey on a guy. Can you describe it, Charlie O?
I can try. Yes. So the massage was an 80-pound woman jumping on a 200 and something pound man, and he had the best massage of his life because she hit every single part on his body, and he said he couldn't even talk because it felt so good. Not inappropriate. She was very appropriate, but a little close to some private parts.
But not his penis.
Touching, but he said he was just like he's going back because it was that great. There was no naughty, no sexual. It was just she was that powerful, and he said literally like weighed 80 pounds. To me, that is wow.
It was like multiple points of contact because it was like her elbows, her hands, her knees, her thighs.
Yeah, and like flipping him
Her
over.
forearms.
Yeah, it was like
you guys know how big he is. You can't flip that person over, right? So you're gonna try to do this, Asia. Okay. I'm sure they have a class.
You can do it.
You can do it.
I
You can
believe
do
it.
I think I'll have to work out a bit first.
One other thing about cheating that I feel is people like it because it's kind of secretive. It's like they're doing something kind of. It's naughty because it's exciting because we get boring. We're boring. We wake up, we go to work, we come home, we do our little routine, and blah 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 blah. And so if you have that little thing you can look forward to, or it kind of brings a little spice in the day, I think that's another thing that like why people start cheating, because there's that little spark. I mean, it may go nowhere, but again, even the emotional cheating, it's still cheating for some people.
For some people.
That brings up the question: do we all have a naughty side?
I think so. A little bit.
Right? Because maybe
Some
we
is
want
little.
to experience that.
Yeah,
Some are little, some are large.
very true.
What about dancing?
You mean like strip dancing?
No,
like
just
pretend, let's say we all went to the bar and you're in a relationship and your boyfriend's not there or your husband's not there, and this really hot guy comes and asks you for a dance. So you're dancing, and
Is
then all
that
of a
cheating?
sudden when
No.
does dancing become over the top? Because we've all been there, we've all seen it, we've all done it. Not in the cheating way, but when we've been. But I'm saying that dancing can become a little sexy. And
yeah, I've had situations where, we're at a club and we're dancing, girlfriends, we're all hanging out, and of course some guy comes over and he's trying to join the group, and
that guy.
he's got his eye on someone, and yeah, I mean, to me, that I think that is not cheating, but if you then turn and now you're into dirty dancing, that little bit crosses my line. I don't know. For me, it could be slightly playful, but I think if my partner were doing that, that would kind of hurt my heart a little bit.
Yeah.
So maybe I need to really think that through a little more and think probably is on my cheating side of the line. Could be.
Yeah, because there's like, okay, think about like if we're out dancing where the bodies are close and you're grinding and things where, it kind of symbolizes a sexual experience.
Right.
Yeah. But what if you're dancing with like country dancing with cute black felt hat guy from however many years ago that had missing teeth and he's just an expert dancer? Then that's kind of harmless. It's just going out, with, and enjoying the dance.
Exactly. So maybe intent. Back
Yeah.
to intent.
Yeah.
I think that's
Where does it go after your dance? What does that look like? Even like if you're out there and then they do start grinding you, I mean, do you stay or do you walk away? Right?
or do you punch him in the nose?
Or you're just like, okay, finish this dance and peace out, person.
Or is it okay to go home with a man from the bar or a woman?
Am I what?
Is it okay to go home, like go home with a person from a bar when you meet them at a bar or dancing? Can you go home with them?
If you want to.
That might be cheating.
Well,
What do you think?
no, I mean, yeah, it's not if you're in a relationship. If you're a single
no.
person, that
Oh no, of course.
that-
Yeah, if you're single,
yeah.
game on, girlfriend.
that was like squirrel. It was a random thought that just came up.
Where's your little devil?
We agree. Yes,
Yes,
you
Asia, you have permission
you
to
are
go
validated.
home. Asia, you can go,
Go
home with a
for it.
man if he dances with you and you want to go home with him. We give you grace. We are giving you grace to go.
So
Just
what
make sure you know where
about
you're going.
like kissing on the cheek? We had a situation recently where someone's in a relationship and they ran into someone else and they kind of kissed. It was friendly, but like the question is that cheating? So I mean, that's a question because to some people it isn't. Other people, it's just a peck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because obviously in different cultures that's extremely common, right?
Or like
And
friendships or whatever. So yeah, I think that's a huge, like again, if you're upfront with it and that's kind of what you set the stage to be, absolutely. But if it's some random person that comes in, like if some woman came into my house and I've never met her before, that would freak me out. Like, but if it's a friend, and he's like, oh, like you kiss you guys on the cheek, whatever,
like a
totally fine.
long-term friend,
But
whatever.
if it's some stranger walking in, then that's a different. We didn't have that conversation that he was that close to her, whatever that looks like, right?
Maybe a good rule of thumb if you're in a relationship is what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Right.
And so even if you don't have the exact same, standard of what cheating is, respect your partner.
Your partner's
And
line in the sand.
Yeah, and would you want, if you did this, would you be okay with that person doing that?
Right. agree.
Same thing.
Yeah, there's a phrase out there I've seen a little bit of. I guess we're calling it micro cheating now. So maybe if we just put micro in front of it, it's not cheating anymore or something. I don't know. One of the things would be like giving gifts to someone. Is that cheating?
Yeah,
Without-
because
yeah.
as a partner, I'd want the gift. Why would I
Yeah.
want
Right.
someone else to get a gift?
I don't want people getting my gifts.
Yeah.
But if I didn't want that gift, I would.
These are all awesome points. I think, these are important things to think about for yourself and talk with your partner or someone, you're potentially, considering a long-term relationship with. I think pretty much across the board, I don't care where you're from, what your background is, sexual intercourse could be considered cheating. So maybe oral sex, but there are people out there that say oral sex is not sex. I mean, technically it is defined as sex, but some people think, well, a blowjob is not sex, and so I didn't cheat. So, and again, penetration. I don't think there's anyone that says, okay, that's not cheating. I think penetration. Whether it's digital, whether it's penile, I just think it's all that's.
Yeah.
And why does cheating matter is a good question. But when you think about, why we get in relationships as human beings, it's because we want a deep connection, a witness to our life, something to connect to.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone, I think intercourse is very connecting. So then you lose connection with your person if they're connecting elsewhere.
Mm-hmm. I would agree. Yeah, I think statistically that women feel that if there's an emotional component, then that's cheating.
Yeah. And I think
just
men are
like
more
what
physical.
Charlie O was saying. Yeah, and then men, it has to do more. They're more
Yeah,
physical
yeah.
based, and so
Yeah.
they would consider the physical part being more cheating.
Right.
It's generalizations,
I
but
agree.
Go.
Speaking of that, I have an amazing book that I read for people either going through an affair, think they are having an affair. It's called The Emotional Affair by Ronald and Patricia Potter. Again, an easy reader, but tons of information. I highly, highly recommend it.
yeah, lots of food for
it's-
thought.
Yeah, and again, I have a question for, not a question, but a topic on cheating. What is, what is cheating to you? We'd love to hear that. And also, what is your deal breaker? What would be that final deal breaker on that if you did find out they were cheating? And if you ever get that trust
Very
back?
important to define for yourself.
Yeah.
For sure. So just to wrap up this episode and the show today, just remember, keep it exciting. Flirt, text, sexting, all those are really wonderful things. Maybe you're in a long-term relationship and, showering's pretty mundane, right? But you're like, oops, I dropped my towel. That's flirting, right?
Yeah.
Those are ideas for flirting. Or you could just, they're at work or something, and you can just tell them what you want to do to them that night when they get home.
Right.
That's the beautiful thing about texting.
Keep it exciting.
Yeah,
And
you
can't delete it.
you could send
you
like a
gotta keep
picture of their belt wrapped up and say, hey, baby, when you get home, we're going to wrap this around my waist.
Like it?
Oh, Asia. Yeah, keep it exciting.